Good morning, Jim. How are you?
Good morning, Michael. They're not as good as they used to be.
No.
Who knows what the second half will bring, but of course of critical importance to, both teams, but for Pittsburgh, you're trying to play for a season perhaps here today at 2-5.
Well, that's my theme, Jim, a little bit this week, is that last dance, enough nonsense, last dance for the Falcons, last dance for the Steelers who lost last week, last dance for the Falcons who lost last week, last dance for the Texans. If they want anyone to even pay attention to them the rest of the season, then win your games today, because otherwise, you know what, you're just bad teams that were good teams last year. That's because when they went out last week and lost to the Raiders and got run on the way they did by the Raiders, yeah, they made a comeback late, but you know what? It's hard to believe in Pittsburgh right now.
I was honestly, I was very surprised they lost that game.
So was I.
I had them penciled in at 3-4 coming into this matchup. And,
me too.
It kind of is the way the season's been going. They have a really hard time getting started, and no better example than the first snap of the game, 93 yards against them. But you look at them as a team, and they're very, if you will, very similar to the Patriots. I mean, this is not one of the great Patriot teams. It's amazing they're 6-2 right now.
It is.
They found a way to win these games, while Pittsburgh's not found a way to win them. And if the Steelers were to come out of here with a W today, they go home the next 2 weeks. Not that any game's a winnable or a deadlock cinch in this league, but home games against Buffalo. You got to like Pittsburgh's chances if it's coming in off of a win. And then, of course, Detroit's a lot better than it used to be. But, 2 home games, Buffalo and Detroit, you could suddenly be looking at a Pittsburgh team that's 5-5, if the thing rolled the right way.
Right, but a very tough one today. Plus, go back and remember that Tom Brady's numbers have not been Brady-like. His rating at the bottom of the league for the first time in a very long time, although I'm not a big quarterback rating guy, but it's just unusual to see him down there. But Brady has historically always had big games against the Steeler defense. He has always given the Steelers a lot of trouble.
Well, he's in the last 3 games against them, he's thrown 9 touchdowns and no picks.
Yep.
So he has had some big games against them, and what that means is, because of course the players change, but the defensive coordinator's the same.
Yep.
So you're talking about a Dick LeBeau defense, and Tom's always had the weapons with him to go out and post gigantic numbers. And of course this year it's 9 touchdowns, 6 picks, and the amazing thing is that the offense in whole in 8 games hasn't even hit 300 yards 4 of the 8 games. So this is not the great offensive machine we've seen in the past. But how could it be? People are saying something's wrong with Tom Brady.
No, it's not. Yeah, what's wrong is he doesn't have the same weapons anymore.
We had a great chat with him yesterday, and there's a lot of course, attention focused on his hand last week, which was obviously swollen.
No question, his hand was an issue. I mean, if you have to throw a football with that hand, it's got to bother you. There's no way around it.
But I got to tell you, the eyeball test, in person, because we were here last week, the football had the same kind of velocity on it. I've seen in the 60-something other games I've broadcast with Brady. But, look, his receiving core was all the talk going into the year, and you really hear his breakdown of it. It even makes more sense. He used to have a guy coming to that backfield. Used to be Kevin Falk, then it became Danny Woodhead. A guy that could catch the ball 3 times in a game, pick up a third down. Good for at least 3.